In this video, we are going to look at the blue hair trait throughout 3 generations of the Simpson family. So here's essentially the family tree of the Simpsons, sorry for the bad image quality, and I have colored in the members who possess this blue hair trait, that being Mona, Jackie, and finally her daughter, Marge. I have drawn out a pedigree showing which members are affected by this trait, seen in the shaded circles. When looking at the pedigree, we can relate it to different modes of inheritance. The first role is X-linked dominant. Males and females can both be affected, where affected sons must have affected mothers, but daughters can either have an affected mother or father. An example of something we may see in this case is X big B, or X big B, X little b. The second is X-linked recessive. It is not passed from father to son, and if the mother is affected, then all of the sons will be affected. An example we may see is X little b, X little b. The third is autosomal dominant, where we see affected offspring must have an affected parent. Both sexes can transmit a trait, and the trait is often in an equivalent frequency between sexes. An example may be heterozygous big B little b or the homozygous big B big B. Next we have autosomal recessive, where both of the sexes also share the same frequency, and it is possible that affected offspring can be born from unaffected parents, and if both parents were to be heterozygous, there is a 25% chance that the offspring would be affected. An example of this would be little b for recessive. Lastly, there's Y-linked mode. In this mode, only males are affected since females do not possess a Y chromosome, and with this being said, the trait is passed from the father since it is carried on the Y. An example in this scenario could be X, Y, little b for blue hair. Now that we've been over the modes of inheritance, which ones apply to the Simpsons? One mode that is consistent is autosomal recessive, another is autosomal dominant. Lastly, X-linked dominant is shown, which is also consistent. X-linked recessive is inconsistent with this inheritance pattern. This is because Herb and Homer would have gotten their X chromosome from their mother, who is X little b, but the sons do not show the trait, so they should not have an X little b. Unfortunately, Y-linked was also found to be inconsistent with the inheritance pattern. With Y-linked, only males are affected, so no males are affected in this instance, and instead the mother is, so therefore the trait could not have been passed from father to son. So many of the Simpsons are not like me and do not have blue hair.